He's kind of at the end of that rope, but he's still, very much a competitor and knows he can compete in this league. It's just, he's going to have to make the decision, to weigh all the options. What's the most important thing for him in his life at this moment? And that's a good decision for him to be able to make. Most of us won't leave this league on our own terms.
Right.
And it seems like he will.
What about you? 14th overall pick of the 2009 draft, 13 seasons. You can get 14 seasons. You play this year. How much longer do you want to keep doing it?
This next season will be 13.
Okay.
For me.
All righty.
And I set a goal for myself a long while ago. I wanted to play 10 years in this league, and then after that, I was going to take it year to year based off of my body, what my financial situation is looking like, and just like as a competitor, I feel like I accomplished everything, and even for me, the thing that has kept me going is that I've been healthy for so long, and I haven't had to, spend a lot of time in the training room. I've been able to stick to doing what I love doing. That's playing on Sundays. And I'm on a really good team that's got a lot of really good potential, a great organization, a good culture. I'm having fun. So I don't know, how long I'll continue to do it. It's really year to year for me. But at least I definitely know I'll be here this season.
And I know you have far more interests outside of the world of football. I do want to get an update on that in a second.
Yep.
But first, front load Super Bowl 55. You played against both of these guys, one of them 3 times this year. And how do you, with your keen championship eye, see Super Bowl 55 going, Malcolm Jenkins?
Yeah, I think to me the most interesting storyline is going to be the Bucs defense, because I think Brady, as much as weapons they have on offense with Tom Brady and all those guys, I still think the most the best dynamic of that team is their defense. And even in the game we played them that third time, it was a defensive battle, and their defense really outplayed ours. They took the ball away, I forget how many times, but were very, very stingy in a defensive battle, and that was the difference in a game. And they've been getting better and better, each week. Those linebackers are making tackles, they're covering, and they're forcing turnovers. You got both those safeties I knew were banged up, but I was really, really impressed with the rookie Winfield all year. He looks just like his dad out there. Corners that can match up. So, and if you look at the matchup with them last time, that was really where the game kind of was lost, was the ability to handle the Chiefs' offense, especially Tyreek Hill. So I'm interested to see what the defensive scheme is going to be and how they handle, the explosiveness of the Chiefs' offense. And because I think Tom Brady and their offense is going to do what they're due, and the Chiefs are going to do what they do on offense. But I think it's going to come down to if the Bucs can continue to play defense at a high level against the best offense in the league.
How's your production company, Black Boys, which was released in 2020 and can be seen right here on Peacock, available to stream for free on Peacock right now, is part of your production company? What's going on with that for you?
Yeah, so that has qualified to be nominated for an Oscar. So I'm definitely hoping for that. But I'm really, now that the off season is here, diving really back into to those projects. We got a couple that we want to make. I want to make Black Girls for sure, and so it's just prioritizing projects. But that has been something that I really enjoy doing, is being a storyteller and giving people, Black stories that we haven't heard before in ways that we can digest them. It's really hard, you're familiar with how I've used my platform kind of in the sports world to talk about these issues, but it's hard to have, sometimes it's hard to effectively communicate in this space because we want to be talking about sports. And there's friction there, but through film and documentaries, it just seems to knock down some of those barriers and walls and creates a little bit more understanding. And so I found it, to be a more effective way to communicate, at least for me. And so I'm really enjoying, diving into creating more stories and more content through the production company.
Well, as you know, my platform is yours whenever you want to promote anything you're doing, Malcolm. You know that, and I'm pleased to say it. And anytime, seriously, very much
Rich,
appreciate
I appreciate you.
Of course. Before I let you go, you surprised Urban Meyer's coaching in the NFL? What do you think?
I am. I am. When you look at his time in Florida and he had some health issues and left there. His time at Ohio State, really, had a lot of success with the program, but then had to step away from it. So to make the jump to now the NFL, is an interesting one, and I think everybody has kind of their eyes on to see what kind of culture he's going to bring in as a longtime college coach, but now a rookie head coach in the NFL. So it's interesting, but I'm happy for him. And I think we'll look to see.
When you said his time at Ohio State, what school is that? Because I don't know what school that is. Because
it's the team that your team hadn't been able to beat over a decade.
No, I'm just confused because normal. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the same as the Ohio State. It's just I thought.
Well,
I'm
Rich,
sorry. I'm confused.
We've got a long history. So for all your listeners, you're right. I didn't do it properly. It's the Ohio State, but
okay.
I got really comfortable talking to my old friend Rich here, and you of all people know it's the Ohio State.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But
you guys dodged us this year.
No, I know.
And blamed it on COVID.
Oh my God! Don't go full Herb Street on me,
crazy.
Malcolm. Don't do that.
Crazy.
Oh, don't do that.
That was disappointing. Wow. I was disappointed.
Oh my gosh! Don't forget though when you said the Ohio State, where the GOAT went to school, right? Let's not forget that. Correct.
What did you say at the top of this? I was the only person to do what?
Oh, my gosh. Malcolm, I always appreciate chatting with you. Thanks for coming on and always spitting truth. I really appreciate our chats every time we have them. Thank you.
Good to talk to you, Rich.
All right, back at you. That's Malcolm Jenkins, at Malcolm Jenkins on Twitter, at Malcolm Jenkins27 on Instagram. And you can, once again, stream now for free right here on this Peacock app, his documentary Black Boys, which... Could you imagine he wins an Oscar? He gets nominated for an Oscar? Let's go.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Let's go. That would be terrific. Let's take a break because the Texans, I believe, have concluded their press conference. And what in the world did they have to say about Deshaun Watson? Oh, boy. That's next on The Rich Eisen Show. What was it like shooting that scene, though, with Ray Kinsella and his father? I mean, how long? We had
to do that. You notice that we did that at Magic Hour. You also noticed that when that shot pulled back and you saw all those cars, now, but that would have been CG'd. But that was technically, that was all extras that we called on the radio, come be in our movie. And they created that big traffic jam.
Hold on a second. So that traffic jam, that's a real
shot. And the people from Iowa came, and so many people feel like they were part of that movie. So those thousands and thousands of cars that were in that giant traffic jam that went out on those two lanes, that was real.
But in terms of playing it, in terms of, as you said, the quiet moment, how did you work that, Kevin?
Well, what I did was I went back to when I first read it. And so I become the audience when I read it. And when I read it, I went... I couldn't believe that it had orchestrated itself to that thing, and I had that feeling on the couch. And so I knew if I played that straight, if I didn't wink at anybody, that these players did come. That's my corn. Phil Robinson is the architect of that movie. I tell a story, and I don't tell it often, but they kept coming after me. I wasn't going to be able to do that movie. I was going to do Revenge, and I got into finally, Revenge kept getting pushed, and finally I had to put my foot down and say, look, if you don't get this movie together, I'm going to go to do this movie in the corn. I asked the director, why did you hold out for me so long? Why? And he said, well, and this is one of the greatest actors we've ever seen. He goes, they wanted me to do it with Robin Williams. And I said, Robin Williams is perfect. He said, yeah, but when I think of Robin, I think he does hear voices in the corn. And I don't want that. People don't believe you hear voices. And that was a really interesting. That's a director that makes a save. That's a Mariano Rivera.
Sure.
It's a save. He saved his movie because of his belief in an idea. Not the quality of actor, because Robin Williams will never.
Of course.
This is a guy so special. But I was curious. I said, he's actually a bigger star than me. Whatever. And he goes, I need somebody that you don't think hears voices.
And that would be you. I've never heard Robin Williams was considered for that role. That's unbelievable. And then you did it, and obviously we're talking about it today.
Yeah. It had gold dust on it when I read it, because I did that little intake of breath. Do you want to have a catch? And of course, I wept myself.
Love that interview with Kevin Costner. You can watch Yellowstone right here on Peacock as well. PeacockTV.com to get the Peacock app for free. Okay, so while we were talking to Malcolm Jenkins, the Texans introduced David Culley as their new head coach. Couple of quotes from our friend Ian Rappaport at NFL Network. Quote from Nick Caserio, I just want to reiterate our commitment to Deshaun Watson. We have zero interest in trading the player. We have a great plan and vision for him. We look forward to spending more time with him. David Culley, the new head coach, the reason I'm in this position today is because I know he's going to be a Houston Texan. Oh, hey. So their plan is to hire David Culley and hope that the general manager that apparently angered Watson by being hired will be influential. So let's get Ian Rappaport on the phone. Is my colleague from the NFL Network on? Terrific.
Yeah, man.
How are you, Ian?
I'm good, Rich. What's happening?
I figured I was interviewing Malcolm Jenkins. I saw you were on the screen. I'm like, let's see if Ian can join me in between hits on NFL Network. So is that the plan, that the Texans hope that they can put the trade request genie back in the bottle and go to battle with Deshaun Watson? Is that the plan in Houston?
Yeah, I would say that is the plan. They have, as far as I can tell, yet to have substantial conversations, if any conversations, with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I know the owner has gotten a couple texts back, Kyle McNair. I just don't know that Nick Caserio has sat down with him extensively and discussed everything yet. They do not want to trade him. Nick Caserio's words were pretty strong, saying he has zero interest in trading the player. David Culley's words were stronger, saying the reason I'm in this position is I know he's going to be a Houston Texan. And all that is noteworthy, and I do not mean to sort of minimize that stuff. It's hard for me to do this without thinking about Dave Gettleman saying about Odell, we didn't sign Odell to trade him and then trading him. So Jamal Adams pledging to be a Jet for life, then asking his way out of the Jets like 4 months later. So words are words. I know teams are not going to stop trying.
Well, I mean, and your talks with people close to Watson or his camp, I mean, is this delusional? Is this a delusional approach? Because it also opens up the Texans to, if Watson says, yeah, I still want out, now they've got a new general manager and coach that has been rejected by the heart and soul of the team and the number one in the heart, number 4 in the program, number 1 in the hearts of fans. Then this has been rejected. At least if they were moving on now, they would say, well, he wanted out, we're going to have a fresh start. This is kind of a risky play, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they've already sort of been rejected. So that, to me, that not like that ship has sailed, but that card has already been played. Like he's already telling them he doesn't want to be there. He's already telling them he doesn't want to work with them. So if it lasts a couple months of rejection, like, it's already been rejection. So I think they've already seen that. What is interesting is it's not actually the hire of Nick Caserio that Deshaun Watson doesn't like. It's not actually the hire of David Culley that Deshaun Watson doesn't like. It's the way the owner treated him in not involving him with the Caserio hire, promising that he would have a say and then not giving him a say, promising him that he would interview coaches he hears good things about. They did interview Eric Bieniemy, but did not interview Robert Saleh. That's the frustration. It's not the frustration of, who actually was hired. It's more of the process. So I say this to add, I don't think Deshaun Watson has any ill will toward Nick Caserio or David Culley. It's all the owner.
Well, that's not going to change. I was peripherally trying to keep track of this while interviewing, again, Malcolm Jenkins in the previous segment. And I didn't see Cal McNair. Was he not on the Zoom?